Good morning. We're going to show you how to make a tiny topper. We promised this video for a really long time, but I'm glad to put it together finally in this new sewing studio. So a tiny topper is a small piece of fabric, two pieces of fabric that are joined together to create a nice little decoration. And we have these for every season, for holidays, for gifts, for St. Patty's Day, for instance. If I'm giving them as a hostess gift, I like to put something on top of it. Maybe it's a candle, maybe it's a set of chocolate or some cookies, whatever you might have. I often go to the dollar store and look for something seasonal to put on top of it. What will we need for this project? We're going to need some pins. We're going to need a turning tool, a rotary cutter, and with that, a ruler, at least 24 inches. For trim up, we're going to use a 12-inch, and a rotary mat. Of course, you're going to need some scissors, an amazing sewing machine, or one that at least sews a straight stitch, and maybe some coffee. So let's first talk about the fabric. So to make our tiny topper, we need one 6-inch piece and one 10-inch piece. You will notice that these are cut on the width of the fabric. In other words, they're not the entire selvage to selvage. They are width of fabric divided by 2. So I'm going to line up the small 6-inch piece with the large 10-inch piece. And I'm going to sew a 1/4 inch down that entire line. Oh, listen to that machine. Isn't that beautiful? So I'm going to grab my scissors. I use a weasel when we're starting and stopping stitching. So I cut off my weasel and leave it for the end. Again, I'm sewing a simple 1/4 inch seam. On this Bernina, I have a 97 foot, actually a 97D foot, that allows it to use that differential feed while I'm sewing. I also, on my plate, have that cluck sew tape that allows you to know exactly where your 1/4 inch is. What's nice about that is I can line this up as I'm going into the machine and know that I have a good 1/4 inch all the way through to the end. So on a Bernina, on this machine, you can also use the cutter feature. I don't use it often, but there. So now I'll tell you, one of the most important things we do is pressing. I'm going to pull this back and show you. When I'm pressing, if you would put the piece to the top that is the novelty, when you turn that over, if you put the piece to the top that is the outside edge, when you turn it over, the seam will go to that outside edge. So, as usual, I press by first setting the seam, and then I turn over the piece and I press it out. And if you see, that allows us to have the seam, the selvage edges, going out from the novelty. It's going to create a little hump, and that's a good thing. So, next most important thing, you'll notice I didn't sew both of them until I laid this up there very naturally. Now I'm going to grab my pins and pin down that edge. What I'm trying to do is make sure that the topper is not torqued. It's flat, so that when we turn it, instead of being a tube that's got some twist to it, it's going to turn really nicely. Okay. So now I've pinned down the length, 4 or 5 pins. I've made sure that this seam is pressed toward the gingham in this case. Now I'm going to go to my machine again. One more trip through the sewing machine for the long seams. So first we do our long seams, second we do our short seams. By the way, this is one of those magnetic pin cushions, and if you've got a computerized machine, we would just counsel you not to put that near the computers in your machine. So don't put it too close to the front face of this. That magnet is really, really strong, and you wouldn't want it to affect your precious computerized sewing machine. So try to keep it away from that. So I'm doing my long seam again at 1/4 inch. And this time I'll show you, I'll go off to a weasel or a spider, people call them a lot of stuff. On like a featherweight, you don't have any cutting available, so you have to learn how to do that by hand. So now, before we turn this right side out, we're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna get it so that we iron it away from the novelty fabric. So here I'm using my iron. I'll pop it up to high, and I'm ironing it so that the seam goes toward the plaid. Okay, and I did that before I turned it. Now simply turn the entire piece inside out. Your seams are already facing the yellow plaid or gingham. And at this point, you want to try to make this size the same as this side. So we're gonna make these each about 1 inch wide. Again, you don't have to be terribly fussy, but it's nice when it's done to have those two about the same size. So here I've got it just about ready to go. I'm gonna use my iron, maybe take it down here just a little bit more. I'm gonna take my iron and start from the center, go to the outside edge, start from the center, go to the outside edge, and that makes that seam really pop. I'm gonna grab a little bit of starch and put some starch on both sides there and iron one more time. I love using starch. Typically in a sewing day, I run out of starch. I just think it's the best thing to make your pieces lie nice and flat. So we've got it halfway done. The next two seams are known as the short seam. I know this won't make sense, but you grab it and you put the topper together with sides facing. Oh, you know what? We're gonna do one more thing. Let's grab our cutting mat. Once the sewing is faced out, we want you to take and cut each of the ends off. That way we make sure that the selvage edge is not in it. So I'm gonna use the shorter ruler, and I'm lining up a horizontal line right there on the, where the two join. I cut off one end. Really important to do the same thing on this end because it's got all the salvages. So I'm gonna line up one of the lines on the seam between the gingham and the novelty, and then I'm gonna cut it off. Now you know you've got a perpendicular straight line. Now you can fold the two over onto each other and use a pin. I pin it right where the two borders meet, right there. You can pin it higher than that and you can pin it lower than that, but you at least have to pin where those two seams meet. So let's go down here and do the same thing. We're joining right where this seam and this seam meet. There's one pin, there's two pins. Okay, back to our sewing machine. So this is simple. The only thing you want to remember is start at the folded end and go to the middle of the piece. That way, if your seam isn't perfect, it's going to work itself out by the time you get to the bottom of it. So go from the start, and I take a little bit deeper than 1/4 inch, and I'll show you why. A little bit deeper. and then flip over, and let's do the same thing on the other end. Start at the folded outside and go to the inside. That way this side will work itself out. You can take a back stitch if you want. I typically stitch at about 2.5 stitches per inch. If you want to, at both the top and the bottom, you can go ahead and take a back stitch. It does help to stabilize it. Okay, now, before you turn this right side out, we want to take a wedge. Use your scissor, start close to the seam, but not at the seam. Take a little wedge of fabric out of there. That'll help us with turning. So again, on the folded center edge, you see that this is the outside. So on the center, start a little bit outside your stitch line and just take a wedge of fabric out of there. Why is that, you say? Because now we're going to fold and press that seam. So this seam will be pressed open. Do you have to do this? No. But I'll tell you what, it looks really nice if you press open that seam. You see how taking the wedge will make that fit into the point really nicely. So let's do it again on this side. We have it wrong sides out right now, and we've got the back up. We're going to open up that seam and we're going to press it flat. And then when we get down to the end where the point will be, by taking the wedge out, we can now push that point really nicely. Okay, now that we've got it ironed from this side, we're going to fold out the point. That's where this point thing comes into play. Again, I think this is a palette knife, but a chopstick, a tine of a fork, anything will work to push out that point. Don't push too hard because you might come through the other end. So let's push out that point, turn over this one, and push it out as well. I like to push it out with my finger at first, and then push it out with the point turner. Don't push too hard, but get the point as far out as you can. Now to iron, the first time I iron on this side so I can see, is this approximately parallel? It's easiest to see it from the back side, not from the front side. So again, when we look here, I'm lining this up. This happens to be gingham, so I can see when it is approximately parallel. So I'm going to give that an iron, and now flip it over. You know what I'm going for next. I can't help but give it a little spray with some starch and iron it one more time. And even with doing videos and everything else, we have made that tiny topper in about 10 minutes or less. Wouldn't that be a great gift as you're going over to have dinner with some hostess? Maybe put, again, a little thing of spices on it or a candle. What a great gift for someone to be given. I want to reiterate what the measurements are. The novelty piece is 6 inches. The outside piece is 10 inches. And it's on half of the width of fabric. So thank you much for joining us today. Visit us at www.pieceandapplique.com, and you're certainly here on our YouTube site. We'd love to show you more. Thanks.